Welcome to the Maine-J Show. It's your boy Maine-J, and this is another episode of Maine-Chat. Thank you for tuning in once again to the Maine-J Show. It's that time of the week for some hot topics. And as y'all know, I only do hot topics as of now once a week because you know your boy got to work his 40 to 50-hour job. We're still in the middle of a pandemic, and I ain't quitting my day job just yet. Praise Jesus. So a lot of times when I get on, many other bloggers have probably already spoken about the hot topics that I'm going to talk about. But can't nobody do hot topics like the Maine-J Show. All right, and here's some of the hot topics that you all have sent me for the week to talk about. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give y'all what y'all want. All right. So today's topic is Paula White came again. Pastor Jamal Bryant and Andrew Caldwell. So before we get started, let me just show you this small clip of Paula White, and we can get to going.
You have my number. I've got over 6,000 people that got my phone number. You've got my number, all right? You know exactly. I'll be bold enough to say how to call me. Don't be a coward and put something out on the internet when you have my number. Call me. Call me. Because we'll sit up here and I'll have you come here and we'll talk about it. We'll sit here. Don't have me call some things out. You call. Okay, I expect the world to. You guys go ahead. You have my number. I've got over...
All right. Whew. Let's dissect this. Now, what I like about it, Paula White today, that day of that video, she didn't come to play. She had on her sweats, her sweatsuit. She had on her tennis sneakers. Looked like she probably had some Vaseline on her face. She came ready to fight. She came ready to war. Here's the thing, Paula White. You should have wore that outfit when you were calling on the angels from South America and Africa and you was warring in this quote-unquote warring in spirit. That's a warring outfit. That's a warfare outfit. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to throw down. I'm ready to whoop some demonic forces, some demonic tail. I'll just go ahead and say it, some demonic ass, okay? You look like you're ready to whoop some ass in that outfit. You don't want the smoke. You don't want this. You got my number. Call me or come here and we could talk about it. I'm like, oh, okay then. Paula White's really bringing the smoke. She's letting them know I'm sick of y'all. Let's sit down, Paula. That you should have wore that when you was like Kando Kunda Akba Na Ma No Na La 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 Land. Oopity doo. When you were speaking those Chinese tongues like you ordering food from a Chinese food menu. That's when you should have that's the outfit you should have wore. And truth be told, Paula White, you're not about that life. Okay? Spiritually, we can tell by that prayer and by that warfare, you're not about that life. And from the streets, you're not about that life. Now, of course, the Bible does say if you have a problem with a brother or sister, you go to them. So yes, you was given some scripture. If you got something to say to me, come to me. That part I actually respect. I don't respect a lot, but that part because I'm like that too. Some of the subliminals and some of the stuff that people put out there, I'm like, I'm going to ignore. And then there's other things like, you got something to say, call me, text me. So that aspect of it, I'm with you on the Paula White. But overall, everything else, you kind of brought that attention on yourself. Like I said last week, on last week's discussion, you're the one who called on angels. And you're the one who went in warfare for this man, knowing his immigration stance. So how are you going to have angels that aren't even being dispensed from this country come over when you can't even have people come over and you're kicking them out? So why would these angels, how is it that these angels get special treatment to come in? These immigrant angels, there's no such thing as immigrant angel, but y'all just stand with me real quick. How is it that these immigrant angels can come over? No process, don't have to be at a border, don't have to be stuck in a cage, don't have to be separated from their other angels, mother angels, father angels, if that's a such thing. I can acknowledge I'm not really into angel theology like that. I know Michael, I know Gabriel, I know there's archangels and, there's, messenger angels and all those types of things, but I'm not really into the layers of the angels. Okay? But, you did this to yourself. You brought this attention to yourself. You know what I'm saying? And for you to try to get buck on your platform once again, talk about you want the smoke and you want this. Nah, chicka. Just let it go. You were off. Your prophecy was off. Your warring was off. You did see victory, but it wasn't for the candy. You was off. Now don't go get mad. Just own it. You were off. You weren't off of praying for President Trump, because we all need prayer, but you were off with your prophecy. And now you're trying to go off and bring the smoke to Pastor Jamal Bryant, and you got my number and all this other stuff will come here. Sit down somewhere, Paula White. God bless you. But you were off. You were wrong. And just own it. Moving on to Pastor Jamal Bryant. He's only brought up because, of course, he was saying some stuff going back and forth with Paula White. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. But I'm not going to talk about Pastor Jamal Bryant in a negative light. He's a pastor. He's a man of God, in spite of his faults and failures, because we all got him. Praise Jesus. I'll be the first one to raise my hand and say, I got him. Okay? But I'm talking about Pastor Jamal Bryant because of our dear brother, Andrew Caldwell. And I'm not even, usually now I'm starting to play videos. I'm not even going to play the video. I don't even want to give that video any primetime action, viewing, anything like that. Pretty much if you watch the Andrew Caldwell video, he's talking about Pastor Jamal Bryant's marriage to Giselle Bryant, and whatever issues they got going on in their marriage, which you can kind of talk about it because they're on these reality shows and they're hot topics. I'm not mad at that aspect. But then he starts going in on Pastor Jamal Bryant, talking about he's only famous because he eats women's vaginas. He's a bottom. He likes men's booties. He sucks, penis, I guess, and balls and all the other different things that go along with men on men sexual activity. We'll just put it like that. For all my, I got a lot of Holy Ghost tongue talking saved folks on this page. But he just goes in. Here's the thing, Andrew Caldwell. Their marriage is their marriage. You want to talk about that as a hot topic? That's one thing, because they're on reality TV show. But where you lose my respect, and I hope somebody on your team, I hope somebody sends this to you. Where you lose my respect, Andrew Caldwell, it's just sometimes how messy you are about how you go about things. Number one, if you have some receipts and you have something where Pastor Jamal Bryant is coming at you and disrespecting you, and he's been doing it for some time, and now you want to say, okay, Jamal Bryant, let me call you out, let me expose you, then I will eat my words. But the conversation all started out about he's not famous and he's only famous because he broke some women's hearts. He did this, he did that. How does talking about that go to now expose known information, go to now exposing the man's sexuality? And you're only famous, Andrew Caldwell, listen, you're only famous because you pulled a publicity stunt at a holy convocation, talk about, I'm delivered and I don't like men's no more. And I don't like to make light of God, because I know that God is an all-powerful God. He is a saving God. He is a keeping God. He is a delivering God. And I was rooting for you. I'm like, yes, somebody's coming forth saying they're being delivered from homosexuality. A life that I was, a world that I was part of. I was part of the LGBT. So I'm like, yes, another brother saying that they're no longer in the community, and they're growing. And I was, your delivery was funny as heck, but you saying that you was being delivered, I was rooting for you, brother. But your fruits that followed, you used that video and that clout to just be messy and nasty. And the only reason why you're famous is because, sad to say, we promoted, laughed, shared your dysfunction We promoted and laughed and shared your messiness. We can tell that something's not right and we laughed at you. There's a difference between laughing with you and laughing at you. There's a difference between promoting you because we want you to succeed and what you do. And it's different between promoting your foolishness and your messiness. And you're only famous because you're messy. You're only famous because you're nasty. You're only famous because people are making fun of your dysfunction and you need help. And if you're such a public relations person, how you say, I'm a public relations person, so I'm famous and da da da. If you're a public relations person and you're doing all these different things, then who's on your team that's saying, nah, this ain't a good look. Don't wear that. Don't do this. Don't say that. Don't be messy. Because that's what you're famous for. And if that's what you want to be famous for, then so be it. But don't come for Pastor Jamal Bryant talk about he got more money. He was a decent pastor in Maryland. He's a pastor in Atlanta, Georgia, or whatever New Birth is. He's been on TV. He's written books. He's done a lot. He's been on all types of TV shows. That's why people know him. You're only known. No one was checking for you before that delivered video, and you're only pulling these stunts because people are not really checking for your dysfunction. They're like, okay, it was funny the first few months, but now this is whack. This is corny. You put up a video or a picture a couple of weeks ago talking about you got beat up. That's what you get. That's karma. Leave people alone. Talk about you was at a rally or whatever the case may be, and that's what you get. Because the rally before that, you was there talking about and doing all this praying. And then the next video, you cussing people out and you're in their face in the middle of a pandemic with no mask on. That's what your behind get. You reap what you sow. So Andrew Caldwell, do what you do, brother. I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm talking about hot topics, but at least I try to do it with some class, some dignity, and show some grace when I talk about the people that I'm talking about. And then you want to cry wolf. There is no crying wolf in this game. And make sure you're being honest with the promise, Andrew Caldwell. You're only famous because you said that you would deliver from something that people could tell that you were not delivered from. And you made a spectacle. And this is the reason why I'm upset. We promoted someone and we laughed at someone who made a spectacle of God, that made a spectacle of being delivered, that made a spectacle of the healing and the delivering and the strong power of God. And we shared it and we laughed at it and we made fun of it when we should have, like how we canceled that show with Takeda Williams and all of them when she was boom, my show, I think it's called Preach on Lifetime. We should have canceled. We should have been like, bump this video, delete it, get it off here. This is not funny. The world don't need to see that. But we promoted you and your dysfunction, and shame on us. But that's what you're famous for. You're not on all these major platforms. You're not out here making major money. You're making some moves. Because there's some people who's promoting you and they're making promotion, they're getting money off of your dysfunction. But you need help. I don't know what's going on with you internally, mentally, but you need help. And what you did to Pastor Jamal Bryant is some sucker. I'm going to say it's some sucker shit. Now, once again, if you show something where he's coming for you, where he's trying to expose you, where he's disrespecting you, and you have to pull out some receipts, I will get back on here and say, okay, good for you, Andrew. But until then, his sexual bottoming and all that other stuff, that was unnecessary. This is the reason why, a lot of DL men and people that ain't out there, that ain't ready to come forward, don't like messing with out people like you or just out people like, because that's ridiculous. If he did something with you or something, people, let the people enjoy their sex, their dick down, or whatever they're doing. And let these people go about their business. And when they're ready to come forward about if they're gay on the down low, they're bisexual, or whatever the case may be, let them do that. Let them put themselves out there. Give them a chance to put their testimony or their story or their truth out there without exposing it. Just expose or talk about stuff that's already out there in the public. Now, being in the LGBT community, when I was in it, of course, you may know that someone's gay and they're married. You may know that someone's gay and they're a preacher. But you respected their tea like they respect your tea. And people in the community may know, girl, he get down. We say, boys are boys, girl, he get down. Girl, He was with him last night. We may, amongst the community, talk about it, but we're not out there putting them on blast, especially when they're not on their pulpit. You gays, you faggots, you this, you that, because then that's when that happens. But you kind of respect their tea just how they respect yours. But of course, if they're trying to expose you to do some disrespectful stuff, then of course you have to be like, you know what? Enough with this foolishness. I'm with you. So if till you pull that out, Andrew, you're messy. Other than that, y'all, that's all I have to do is talk about in regards to Pastor Jamal Bryant. Nothing bad, Pastor Jamal Bryant, if you get like that, I'm sorry that, that had to happen. If you get down, you get down. It's 2020. We love you anyhow. Keep on preaching and teaching Jesus. We'll follow you. You got your struggles. I got mine. They got theirs. And they can say whatever they want. We all struggling with something. We all need to be delivered from something. We're all pressing towards the mark each and every single day, including the Maine-Chat show, your boy Maine-Chat. So that's pretty much it. Paula White, sit down for a while. You be his advisor, be Trump's advisor for the next couple of months. Pray for him that is a smooth transition. You see victory, him getting out the office, all that. See that type of stuff. Telling him to exit the godly way. Do all of that, and let's not hear for you. Unless you're just speaking to your congregation and you're doing your Sunday morning lives or your Saturday lives or whatever days you do your Bible study and you're preaching, you're teaching. Other than that, sit down for a while. Andrew Caldwell, figure out something else to keep your name famous and keep your name in the blogs. Maybe something that's a little bit more healthy. Hey, you guys, I'm actually going to get some mental health. Maybe do something like that. But all the people that support that and that dysfunction, let's stop. If somebody people call him out. That's my spill for today's Hot Topics. Thank you all for tuning in. Y'all know where to hit me up if you want something that you want me to talk about. The Maine-J Show at gmail.com. The Maine-J Show on Facebook. The Maine-J Show on Instagram. Okay? The Maine-J Show on Snap. All these different places you can find me. Thank you all for the love. Thank you all for the support. Until the next time. Peace.
Since he came, there's been a change. I no longer am